Welcome, welcome, welcome. Most people think that love is the oldest thing on the planet. But what if I told you that longing is older than love? Because longing leads to love. In today's grand finale of Sinclair Smith Dream Date, we are going to explore the concept that I just gave you. Welcome, 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 curios, to the Curio Storyteller, where we take books from yesterday, we cosplay some of the characters, or just whatever I feel like, and then we give our opinions, our thoughts, our feelings, or sometimes we even talk to the characters like they're our friends. So, we are on the last couple of chapters of the book Dream Date. Let me give you guys a little recap, but first we're going to put Oreo Jr. back in the penitentiary prison with our boy Heath. And speaking of, so our main character is Katie. She is a new 17-year-old. She just turned 17. And she was reflecting when she moved to her new city, how her teenage years just didn't go quite the way she thought they should. She thought she should have a bunch of friends, she should have a boyfriend, yada, yada, yada. So she gets to wishing and hoping and praying that she finds that person. And it is answered by a big, creepy, dusty, unmotivated, controlling, nothing burger of a, I would say human, but I don't know what the hell he is, named Heath, who comes to her in her dreams, promises her the world, and gives her destruction and dust. So we are now exploring Katie's, I guess, her trying to get outside of that. But also along the way, Katie has met friends and a boyfriend and yada yada yada. So did I leave anything out, Scott?
Nope, you covered it all.
Okay. I think I'm distraught that this is our last time with this book. Okay, guys, well, let's get going with this story. When the crazy amusement park ride spun out, Katie landed on a hard, solid surface. As solid as anything can be in a dream, she said to herself. It took a while for the dizzying spin to calm down enough to focus on anything. But when it did, she realized she was back on the front porch. She had landed on her hands and knees. Girl, he ain't even drop you in there nicely, honey. He just threw you on into the dream. Like, hurry up so I can take your essence. Katie could see the skirt of lacy white sundress covering up her legs. I really hate this dress, she said to herself. Girl, you ain't hate it when you first was wearing it. You ain't hating when you went shopping and bought a bunch of stuff that looked like it. So don't be like that now, Katie girl. She pushed herself up into a standing position and dusted herself off. Then Katie raised her eyes. Hello, Heath. He had never looked more reptilian than he did now, leaning up against the tree in Katie's front yard. Let's pause for the cause real quick. Y'all ever notice that when you like fall in love with somebody or you really like somebody, they look like a glass of cold water in a desert to you. But then once all of that wears off and then you don't want them no more, they look like the worst. They look like a piece of poop on the bottom of your shoe. Y'all ever notice that? That's what Katie's experience now. She's like, ugh, ugh, what did I ever see in him? He dusty. She half expected a forked tongue to dart between his lips when he opened his mouth to speak. Ugh. Hello, Katie. Katie thought the words sounded like a hiss. It's not over till it's over, she said to herself. Thanks for being so understanding, Heath. I didn't want to go without having my last few moments all to myself. Girl, it ain't to yourself. Heath is there. Of course, I knew you'd win in the end. You're too clever of an opponent for me. Look at him preening, Katie thought with disgust as she walked towards him. She stared at the metal thing that hung on the cord around his neck, pretending to be examining it with great care. It's beautiful, she said finally, looking up at Heath through her eyelashes. Oh, let me show y'all what that looked like. It's beautiful. Scott, you want? It's beautiful.
Wow, it is.
Yes, I'm going for that EGOT, y'all. You know, Heath, I remember how you told me the metal was like you, the image of the jungle cat. How true it is. How true. Heath's reaction was predictable. He pulled himself up as tall as possible and puffed out his chest. Yes, Heath. He think he that dude.
Mhm.
Katie stifled an impulsive giggle. Sorry, y'all. Can I see it? The metal? Can you take it off? Okay, she getting a little with it. She getting a little sexy with it, a little spicy. That's how you get them, girl. He looked taken aback. Please, Katie prayed silently. Then Heath was taken off the metal and handed it to Katie. For a moment, she held it in her hands. I want to try it on, Katie said, as if she just thought of it. Let me go inside and see how it looks in the mirror. She was gone before Heath could think of any objection. Girl, you better be careful with him. He crazy. He better knock you upside the head. Inside the house, Katie didn't slip the metal around her neck. Holding it firmly in her hand, she headed for the back door. Okay, girl. Then she slipped out and into the yard. Katie headed for the open field behind the house. Beyond it was the main road. I told y'all you better get across the street where he can't get you, girl. I ain't think about the metal part, but you know. It was the road where Heath had had his motorcycle accident years ago. It was the road he couldn't cross. Katie ran quickly through the yard and soon was wading through the dry, waist high grass of the field. Pause for the cause. I would have been scared. Because you don't know if there are snakes in that grass. Girl, you don't know what's in that grass. I don't care if it's a dream. Heath is in a dream. Girl, could have been snakes up in there. You could have got bit. There could have been an armadillo in there. You could have got leprosy.
No, don't want that.
Mm-mm. Okay, sorry, back to the book, y'all. She kept the house between herself and Heath so he wouldn't be able to see her until the last minute when she turned towards the road. Still, she'd have to move fast. Heath probably would get suspicious and wonder why she had been gone so long. Then he'd come after her. Katie pushed the grass aside as she moved, all the while keeping the metal pressed in her hand. She told herself not to look back, but after a while, she needed to see how much distance she had put between herself and Heath. Katie craned her neck over her right shoulder. Heath was quite a ways away, but she could see him clearly. Girl, stop looking and run. See, this is where nosiness gets you. It gets you nowhere. It makes you lose time. Stop being nosy, girl. Mind your business. He was still in the front yard, but he had moved away from the tree and was walking toward the side of the house, moving lazily, his hands stuffed in his pockets. Why, Heath, I'm disappointed in you, Katie said to herself. You're not even suspicious yet. You haven't even gone inside to search the house. I guess you don't think I'd try to run away. You probably didn't think I'd have the nerve. Oh, Heath, you just don't know what I've got planned for you. Girl, what you got planned?
Mm-hmm.
What y'all think Katie got planned? Probably a bunch of nothing.
Gotta find out.
At the precise instant Katie was about to start moving again, Heath looked towards the field. Their gaze locked. Katie. Oh no, Katie thought. She started to move again, as fast as she could. It was impossible to run. The weeds and grass grew up too thickly at this part of the field. Katie fought her way forward. A quick backwards glance showed that Heath wasn't running after her. Katie was momentarily confused. Where was he? Then she heard the noise coming closer and closer, roaring. Of course, she realized then Heath hadn't bothered chasing her on foot. He'd come after her with the motorcycle. Girl, he about to mow you down, girl. Uh-oh. Chapter 42. Katie's lungs strained almost to the bursting point. Sweat poured down her body and her heart thumped in her chest. Yeah, Katie, girl, you shouldn't have took that time to sit up there and be nosy. Curiosity unalived the cat now, didn't it? The roaring noise filled her ears, growing even louder as Heath rocketed through the woods. Panic seized Katie's heart. She could see the road clearly, only a few hundred yards away. Or a few yards, not 100, few yards away. Sorry, y'all. I was being a little extra there. She knew that Heath was gaining on her so quickly now. He would reach her before she could reach the road. A raging noise of the motorcycle told Katie that Heath was close behind her. Girl, he about to run you over, girl. She turned and saw his face twisted with madness, eyes blazing. He was headed straight for her. In that instant, Katie knew that Heath had gone crazy, out of his mind with anger. He wasn't thinking anymore. His fury was in full control. Heath no longer cared that he still needed Katie's dreams to exist. He wasn't going to stop the motorcycle, grab her, and pull her back to the yard. He was going to try to run her down. Girl, that's how much he cared about you? Enough to run you over with his Harley? I don't think he cared about you, sis, but... The only thing he wanted to do now was to unalive her. The motorcycle was bearing down on Katie, barely 3 feet away. Acting without thinking, Katie managed to dodge it at the last possible moment by launching herself into the air and twisting to one side. Okay, girl, you out here being a gymnast. Okay, Katie was like, bum, 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 like the Matrix, like, stick that landing. Gold medal. Okay, you better do a double twist, girl. Heath couldn't turn the machine fast enough to catch her. Caught off guard, he flew on ahead, barely turning in time to avoid running into the road. Katie watched him skidding to a frantic stop. He was still afraid of crossing, she thought with relief. He had gotten so strong, she wondered about that. Oh, you was taking some chances. She saw Heath maneuver the machine in her direction and realized she had lost a lot of ground. Now he roared towards her, making her run back towards the house. After about a quarter of a mile, girl, you ran that far? Katie did a little zigzag turn and was back on course. She could feel herself weakening, though, getting worn out, and forced herself to pour every ounce of remaining energy into her mission. The grass was thinning out now, and Katie was able to run. Girl, you better get it, girl. Run, sis, run, Forrest, run, girl. She threw everything she had into her last desperate, mind-bending, body-breaking steps. Ooh, that's a lot. Girl, you sound like Michael Jordan. Ooh, girl. Her feet touched the hard surface of the asphalt road. He was behind her on his shining electric unaliving beetle. He was only inches away. Oh, girl. Katie felt as if the air around her was thick sludge and everything was happening in slow motion. Move, 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 she shouted at herself. You're almost there. You're almost there. And then Katie felt herself starting to fall. Oh, girl, no. Ain't this what happened in every horror movie? Oh, girl. She saw it all happen as if watching a movie. Her foot stepping forward almost by itself, stepping into the hole she saw too late to avoid. She was going down and down, and the ground was rushing up to meet her. Katie put out her arms stiffly to brace herself, Somehow she resisted her body's demand to open her other hand, let go of the metal, and brace herself with the right palm as well. There was a jarring thud. Did y'all feel that thud?
Did.
I felt it. Katie hit the road and rolled, the metal still clutched firmly in her hand. The last thing she saw were the wheels of the motorcycle directly over her face.
Well,
Katie may not make it out of this one, y'all.
doesn't sound good.
Then there was only a orange rush of flame all around her as the motorcycle leapt over the road and landed on the other side. She heard Heath screaming as if from far away. An hour passed before Katie realized that her body was still intact, and around another 15 minutes went by before she realized who she was. Okay, girl, he had you gone like that. Where am I? Was her next thought. Katie looked around. She was in her own room and she was sitting up in bed, her nightgown stuck to her body. She was hot, so hot, menopause hot. I'm kidding, y'all. You don't say that. She was drenched with sweat. Suddenly, it all came flooding back to her. Heath, the motorcycle, the flames, the dust. I made it, she whispered to herself. I made it, and now I'm going to be all right. High five, y'all, because we couldn't have did this. High five, Scott. We couldn't have did this without telling her, girl, do better. Do better. This is us helping her. So don't think y'all weren't a part of this. We were a part of this.
Right.
For the first time, Katie realized the searing, burning pain in her hand. She opened it quickly, and something fell into the bedspread. Something charred and blackened and round. Katie stared at it. The cord was completely burned away. But on the face of the metal, Katie still made out the scorched image of a savannah cat. No, I'm kidding, of a jungle cat, but a savannah cat specifically. Chapter 43. This is it, y'all. This is the last chapter.
Wow.
Dear Diary, I never saw Heath again after the night he disappeared in flames. I put the metal and what was left of the cord in a little wooden box, and I keep it under my bed to scare away the man that lives under there.
Okay.
I'm kidding. Jason got well.
All right.
Was there even, he shouldn't have even been bad at this point. Like, girl, okay. But y'all know I'm happy to hear my boo is doing okay. Okay. I am excited that my boo and I can go on a good date again. He can write some more poems, all of that, all that. Yes. He's coming over tonight. Hey. I didn't lose Jason or Raquel or any of the other friends I made when Heath disappeared. I guess that proves they were here for me all along, not because of any special powers Heath had. No, honey, it was all you, baby. Raquel and I are very close, and we never speak of Heath. You never told her about him, so why would y'all just randomly be talking about him? Anyway, I think we both know there are some things too terrible to speak of, even between close friends. Was Heath just a figment of my imagination? Had I actually heard the stories about the vicious boy whose motorcycle bust into flames and pushed them into the background of my memory, only to wave them into a fantasy of my own making? Girl, what? You need therapy if you did all that. I'm sure many people would opt for for some sort of explanation like that. Lots of people would find it easy to believe Heath was just the creation of a frightened girl, afraid that she couldn't find out who she was. A girl who was afraid she didn't deserve to have fun and to have friends. I don't believe that. I was there. I'm not afraid to go to sleep anymore. But even after all this time, I'm afraid to touch the little wooden box, afraid to shake it to see if there's anything inside that rattles. Of course, I never open the box to look at what's inside, just in case there's nothing there. And they all live happily ever after.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah. The end, y'all.
Wow.
So we have finished Sinclair Smith Dream Date together, which this was exciting to finish with y'all. This brought back so much nostalgia, memories, all that stuff. I recommend everybody go find this in your local bookstores or your local used bookstores, wherever you can find it. Totally get this book. It's a good read. And it tells you a lot about human psychology. Speaking of, now that we ended the book, what do you guys think? What stood out to you? If you could talk to any character in this book, what would you say to them? What lessons did you learn? Any of those things. You guys, of course, put it in the comment section. Scott, did you have anything you wanted to share about this book? What you thought?
I was gonna say I enjoyed the story. It was a fun ride. It has ups and downs, ebbs and flows,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm glad to find out how it finished out, but I'm sad that it ended. But I look forward to the next adventure.
Yeah. The thing that stood out to me is this. So I titled this Longing is Older Than Love, because without longing, you don't have love. You usually long for love, which is where we found Katie in the beginning. She was like, oh my God, I want a man, blah, 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 blah. And as we know, as you go through life, you kind of discover this. I don't know how old the people are that watch this or your experiences, but I've learned throughout my life and through, family and friends' experiences that they have shared and the many books I've read, that sometimes you bring things to you, and if you're not discerning or very kind of picky and choosy about it, sometimes you get caught up in some bad stuff. So let's look at Katie. Katie was wishing to have a friend and a man, and it got answered, but it got answered by the wrong person. He was the one who was listening, and he was the one who took her up on the challenge, and it took her down some dark paths. So if you think about it, sometimes a loan shark will come to you and be like, I can loan you all that money. You'll have all the things you want. But what's on the other side of that? Sometimes you'll have, a car dealership. Oh, we can lease you this car for 800 months. You can get the car you want. Yeah, but what's on the other side? What's the real price you paying? So sometimes when we have a lot of longing, but we don't discern or kind of weed through the people that come to offer us the candy, a stranger offering you candy. You want some candy? Come here. Sometimes it'll get us in trouble. And that's kind of where he took Katie. She did not discern and wait for the right one. She took the first one. And that's where Katie got caught up and in some trouble. So be careful. Definitely always long, but be careful what you long for and who you allow to fulfill that longing need that you have. So that's what I got.
All right.
And for you guys, be proud of yourself. We finished yet another book together. We're so smart. We smart. Okay, guys. Well, with that, we're going to end this live. Let me just kind of give you guys the gist of it. So next weekend is the 4th of July weekend. We won't be here because we'll be out of town, but we will be back with a new book. I don't know if I'm going to do a R.L. Stine book. I'm considering Twisted. I don't know if I want to do a Christopher Pike book, which Longing is Older Than Love comes from a Christopher Pike book. And if I ever say it, y'all put it in the comment section once y'all hear the book it comes from. But I'm considering Christopher Pike, or I'm considering a classic. So we'll see after the 4th of July. But in the meantime, in between time, you guys have a happy 4th of July. Happy 250th birthday to America. All that good stuff. As always, thank you guys for joining. And let's do our conclusions here. Let's do our conclusions. As always, guys, we enjoyed having you. We loved doing this book with you. And just having you guys' presence with us. And hopefully you guys felt the same way about us. So from make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, check out some other videos, live, shorts, all that fun stuff. Make yourself at home. This is a place to just unwind, have a good time. It's for the curios, the weirdos, everybody in between. So with that, from wherever we are, even when we're trying to figure out how to untether ourselves from some food that jumped in there to try to save us when we didn't need saving from them, to wherever you guys are. Peace, love, and happiness. And we will see you guys after the 4th of July weekend. Have fun, guys. Be safe, but have fun. Bye, y'all.
Bye.